Now, the Democratic Alliance says it's not impressed with the resignation of Bell Pottinger CEO James Henderson at the weekend. His resignation comes ahead of the release of an independent report on the work done by the PR firm in South Africa. In a statement, DA Shadow Minister of Communications Phumzile van Damme says that Henderson's decision to relinquish his role as CEO is not in fact an act of valour. This as he owns 40% of the British public relations firm and remains a shareholder. The DA says if Henderson had truly appreciated the implications of the propaganda of Bell Pottinger, he would repay the approximately 20 million rand that the company earned from the Gupta family and President Jacob Zuma's son, Duduzane, for the benefit of South Africa. The DA had complained to Britain's Public Relations and Communications Association about the campaign, which condemned opponents of President Jacob Zuma as agents of white monopoly capital. It accused Bell Pottinger of stirring racial hatred in this country. The firm accepted the elements of its campaign had been inappropriate and insensitive. The board of the UK-based PRCA is meeting today to consider Bell Pottinger's appeal against the DA's complaint. Well, let's get a local perspective. Of course, Bell Pottinger targeted in the UK because it operates from there, but this affects South Africa. And what does it mean for our public relations sector? For more, we're joined in studio by Malesela Maubane, the president-elect of the Public Relations Institute of Southern Africa. Great to have you, Maubane. The UK body, we don't have an equivalent yet when it comes to regulation. Is that correct?
Yes. Let me say, Francis, and to the viewers to say good afternoon. We're working closely with the PRCA as a fellow member of the Global Alliance. So as PRISA, the Public Relations Institute of Southern Africa, we are at a stage where we want to vigorously engage in terms of regulation. We've got a green paper which we're going to engage various stakeholders so that we develop it into a white paper on regulation of the public relations and communication industry.
Okay, so you're the umbrella body that represents PR firms, PR consultants, etc. But we're moving towards that regulation. If this had been a local firm, not Bell Pottinger, are you saying there would be no way actually to really hold them to account if they were a South African firm?
Let me say, PRISA, we are a membership-based organization. We've got individual members and public relations consultancy. So in terms of them becoming our members, they adhere to a code of ethics. So we'll be holding them accountable on their conduct, depending that they are our members.
So you could kick someone out?
Yes, as our member, as a member of public relations consultancy, which is a member of PRISA, we can.
All right, and then companies could look and see if they're registered or not. But are companies, are governments, are bodies, municipalities, provincial government, are they actually looking at the background of the PR firms that they're using in South Africa, do you think?
We are working closely with the Government Communication Information System. As I've mentioned, the green paper. GCIS is one of the stakeholders that we're working with, so that we make sure that in terms of the PR firms, and also when a client is looking for a PR firm, they are able to know that, especially if the firm is a member of PRISA, they're able to be assured of credibility of that firm.
This, of course, raises issues of credibility. Bell Pottinger is now seen as this rogue firm taking dirty tricks to a gross extreme here in South Africa. How unusual is that? What would you say about the general ethics of PR practitioners in this country?
In this country, we can say generally, in terms of ethical conduct and professional standards, we are really adhering to. I can talk especially in terms of our members, that we are adhering to code of ethics, and also to say what happened with Bell Pottinger is really, as you said, unprecedented. We've never seen in South Africa. And as they were operating in South Africa, as PRISA, we're saying their apology came a little too late, and we're also feeling that it is a bit not true, and also they are not. It is not coming straight from their heart. And what they've done to it could have raised a civil war in South Africa. And what they've done, we're saying as PRCA is going to see what they're doing with their conduct in South Africa, we're saying we would like to see them not operating as not only in South Africa but in Southern Africa, as PRISA will represent professionals in Southern Africa.
And is this a wake-up call for local practitioners? The negative view of PR agencies is that they will take on any client that pays them to promote them. You don't ask too many questions. Is this a wake-up call to say, start scrutinizing your clients more closely?
Yes, indeed. And as I've mentioned, that we're looking at the green paper to being a white paper. We're looking at it is, in fact, actually a wake-up call. We need to move with speed in terms of regulating the industry.
What role has PR played in politics before? Because now it raises suspicions, previous elections. Is this really, really unprecedented in South Africa?
It is unprecedented, but if you look at before democracy in terms of what was happening, sometimes there was, especially also in the media, there was censorship. But if you go to at the international stage, PR has played a major role in Obama ascending the presidency of the US and also with Trump. And so the power of PR cannot be underestimated. And what we're looking to is responsible and professional conduct.
You're right. In the US, a lot of people saying it changed the course of the election entirely. Let me end with this. Unfortunately, it's still going on. I saw at the weekend journalists complaining of bots, of these Twitter accounts coming up. We don't know where they're from. And what about Cyril Ramaphosa, the campaign that is allegedly against him and his presidential campaign? Do you think this is dirty PR tricks again? Well,
with the specific reference to Ramaphosa case, as PRISA, we cannot really express ourselves to say what is happening is wrong or right, but we always not promoting PR conduct which is contrary to our code of ethics. And as you've mentioned, boards and all those, our code of ethics mentioned that as members of PRISA will respect the mediums or channels of communication. Mm-hmm. So as part of our code of conduct, we really respect our channels of communication.
What does that mean exactly?
So that we use the channels of communication like your Twitter, Facebook, and all that, even the radio and TV responsibly, not to spread malicious information, but to use it for the good and also in a responsible and ethical way.
All right. Well, thank you for your explanation, and at least we are moving towards that regulation if that white paper materializes. Thank you so much. And we were joined there by Malesela Maubane, the incoming president of the Public Relations Institute of Southern Africa, a body for this region.